The secrets of medieval maps. How ancient cartographers drew the unknown world and what it reveals about their minds. What did the world look like before Google Earth? For centuries, humans relied on hand-drawn maps to navigate and understand their surroundings. But unlike modern maps, which strive for accuracy, medieval cartography was as much about storytelling as it was about geography. These maps were filled with mythical creatures, religious symbolism, and speculative lands, offering a window into the minds of those who created them. Let us delve into the secrets of these ancient maps and uncover what they reveal about how people in the Middle Ages perceived the world. 1. The Map of Mundi, a map of faith. One of the most famous medieval maps is the Hereford Mundi, created around 1300 CE. This circular map places Jerusalem at its center, reflecting the Christian belief that the Holy Land was the spiritual heart of the world. Surrounding it are continents, oceans, and strange creatures, all depicted in vivid detail. The Map of Mundi wasn't designed for navigation. Instead, it served as a visual encyclopedia of medieval knowledge. It included biblical stories like Noah's Ark, historical events, and fantastical elements like dog-headed men and giant birds. To medieval viewers, this map wasn't just a representation of physical space, it was a moral and spiritual guide. 2. Terra Incognita, filling the blank spaces. Medieval maps often featured large areas labeled Terra Incognita, unknown land, or Hexundracones, here be dragons. These phrases marked regions that were either unexplored or misunderstood, but rather than leaving these spaces empty, cartographers filled them with imaginative creations. For example, sea monsters prowled the oceans, symbolizing the dangers of maritime travel. Mythical races like the Blemia, headless men with faces on their chests, inhabited distant lands. Imaginary islands dotted the seas, sometimes inspired by sailors' tall tales. These embellishments weren't mere decoration, they reflected the fears and curiosities of a world still grappling with the unknown. 3. The role of religion in mapmaking. Religion played a central role in medieval map design. Many maps were oriented with east at the top, reflecting the belief that paradise lay in the east. Jerusalem often appeared at the center, emphasizing its importance in Christian theology. Biblical events were frequently incorporated into maps. For instance, the Garden of Eden might appear as a real location, while Noah's Ark could be shown resting atop Mount Ararat. These elements blurred the line between myth and reality, creating a unique blend of faith and geography. 4. Portland charts, the dawn of practical navigation. While many medieval maps were symbolic, others were highly practical. Portland charts, developed by Mediterranean sailors in the 13th century, were among the first accurate navigational tools. These charts featured detailed coastlines, compass lines, and ports, enabling mariners to sail safely across open waters. And like the fanciful Map of Mundi, Portland charts prioritized precision over imagination. Yet even these practical maps occasionally included mythical elements, such as sea serpents lurking near dangerous shoals. 5. The influence of classical knowledge. Medieval cartographers drew heavily on classical sources, particularly the works of Ptolemy and Pliny the Elder. Ptolemy's Geographia, rediscovered in Europe during the 13th century, introduced concepts like latitude and longitude, revolutionizing mapmaking. However, classical knowledge was often mixed with medieval superstition. For example, some maps depicted the legendary island of Thule, described by ancient Greeks as the northernmost point of the world. Whether Thule represented Iceland, Norway, or an entirely fictional place remains unclear. 6. The legacy of Marco Polo and other travelers. Travelers like Marco Polo and Ibn Battuta brought back accounts of distant lands, inspiring cartographers to update their maps. However, these descriptions were often exaggerated or misinterpreted. For instance, Marco Polo's mention of rhinoceroses in Asia led some maps to depict unicorns, blending fact with fantasy. Such errors highlight the challenges of mapping the world without modern technology. They also remind us how medieval societies were to believe in wonders beyond their own borders. 7. The transition to modern mapping. By the late 15th century, advances in navigation and exploration began transforming cartography. Christopher Columbus's voyages, followed by those of Magellan and others, expanded European understanding of the globe, maps became more scientific, focusing on accuracy rather than artistic flair. Yet traces of medieval imagination lingered. Even as late as the 17th century, some maps still featured sea monsters and other fantastical elements, though they grew increasingly rare. 8. What medieval maps tell us about their creators? Medieval maps reveal more than just geographical knowledge. They expose the hopes, fears, and biases of their creators. By placing Jerusalem at the center, cartographers affirmed their faith. By filling blank spaces with monsters, they expressed anxiety about the known, and by incorporating classical ideas, they demonstrated respect for tradition. These maps remind us that every culture views the world through its own lens. While modern maps aim for objectivity, medieval maps celebrated subjectivity, a quality that makes them endlessly fascinating. Conclusion: the secrets of medieval maps lie not in their accuracy but in their creativity. They are testaments to human curiosity, imagination, and the desire to make sense of the unknown. By studying these maps, we gain insight into how our ancestors saw themselves and their place in the cosmos. If you're captivated by these stories of ancient cartography, subscribe now for more untold tales from history. Together, let's uncover the hidden layers of our past.